Hi there. I brought you some flowers. My name is Ileane, and this is a peace offering because today I want to share with you 5 things that you're doing that are hurting your engagement on your live streams. Stay tuned because that's coming right up. And I'm seeing a lot of mistakes. And honey, let me tell you, I've made a ton of mistakes. So we're going to take our broadcast to the next level. I've done a lot of live streaming. I've experimented with tons of platforms. Some of them you guys probably never even heard of before, but I want to make sure that we are doing our best to get engagement and getting the most out of these live streams. We're spending a lot of time doing live streaming now. I mean, I've been trying to convince folks to get on camera and use video for years on YouTube. But now that Facebook is into this live streaming game, I don't have any problems convincing anybody. Everybody is all for it. And people are just live streaming all day long. So I want to bring some things that, like I said, mistakes that I've made. And I watch a ton of live streams. So I see a lot of you making these mistakes. So I'm going to apologize in advance. Don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I just want to bring these to your attention because you can't say, well, nobody told me. Yeah, I'm telling you right now. So here we go. And like I said, one of the first things that I struggled with, even when I was doing my YouTube and Hangouts on air, was my lighting. My lighting. Right now, I feel like my lighting is pretty good. Can I get an amen? Can I get a retweet? Can I get somebody? Can I get a hand clap? Okay, my lighting is pretty good. I do have sunlight coming in from a window over here, and I got some other lights going on here. But what I see people doing, and I know a lot of times you're just thinking, I need to be well lit. But what you don't want to do is have that light behind you and going into the camera because it's hurting your viewers' eyes and they can't be focused on what you're talking about because they're really getting distracted with that blinding light that you have, especially when it's the sun, when it's the sunlight. It is just overpowering and is very, very distracting. So please, wherever you are, try to get the sun behind your camera or your phone, whether you're doing it on desktop or whatever, or even if it's coming from the side, but not going towards your viewers, hurting their eyes. And the other thing that I see that's also very distracting, and I guess some people think that, well, it's part of their decor and they're being fashionable, but please do not have your ceiling fan going. You're making me dizzy. It's just going around and around and around, and you think I'm watching you, but I can't help it. I'm watching the ceiling fan because our eyes are getting attracted to that movement. They say even with live streams, when people see them in the Facebook feed, and I'll speak on Facebook because I'm actually live streaming to Facebook right now. It's the motion, it's the activity that draws somebody's eye, and they see that, and then they say, oh, that's a video. Let me go watch it. So you don't want to have that ceiling fan. And this is probably the biggest offender of what I see in people's backgrounds. And a lot of people have these lovely homes and the ceiling fan is beautiful, but it's distracting and it's making me dizzy. So please turn off your ceiling fan. And if possible, don't even have the ceiling fan in the background. Just don't even have your camera pointed towards where the ceiling fan is. And I know sometimes it's a logistics thing. You're worried about the lighting, so you got to turn around. And then when you turn around, it's boom, the ceiling fan is there. But at least turn it off, okay? Turn it off, and then try to position your camera or your phone so that you can see, minimize what people see at the top of the screen there. Okay. So that's number one. And number two, now I think most of you all are going to agree with me on this, but I know somebody's feelings are going to be hurt. I hope it's not you. Number two, reason why, and this is what's hurting your engagement. You're driving. You're driving. You cannot drive and live stream. First of all, it's rude. Second of all, it's probably against the law in your state. And it's just not. Think about when I see someone driving and live streaming, that tells me that they're too busy to live stream. They really don't want to be there. They are in the middle of doing something else, or they're multitasking, and they can't make eye contact with me. They can't read my comments or know if I'm giving them a like or a, depending upon what platform it's on, a heart if it's on Periscope. They don't even know because they're driving and their attention has to be on the road. And of course, we don't want their attention to be taken off the road and they would stop and look over at their phone, because then we know what can happen. That you always want to keep your eyes on the road. So when your eyes aren't on the road, that means that you're not paying attention to the people that you're supposed to be reaching out to and that you're trying to get engagement from in the audience. So that is the number two thing that is hurting your engagement. Please don't live stream and drive. You may want to take a snap while you're driving, even though they tell you not to. You may want to take a pic while you're behind the wheel. Hopefully you're pulled over, but it's very distracting and people can't focus on your message because they know you're not focused on them. Like right now, I'm focused on you, don't you? Because guess what I'm not doing? Driving. Okay. All right. Number three. That's what I will segue from that engagement that you can't get because you can't read the comments and you can't see who is liking you and hearting you up and sharing for you. Number three is you're not responding to those comments. You're not thanking people for sharing. Engage with them, thank them for coming to your broadcast and all of that. So that is our number three. So a lot of times, let's say you have a really active stream and there's just like so many comments, you can't keep up with them. First of all, try to get help. Try to enlist a friend to help you out with your broadcast. And then that person can help you moderate the chat. And then they can bring those really important comments to your attention. If all fails and you just can't get somebody to help you. There's just too many comments. You just can't handle them all because you are just awesome, right? Because you're not driving. You got your lighting all set up. You got your little background going. You brought flowers for your followers. Okay. Follow up with them on social media. Go through those comments afterwards. Go through that chat. If it's a site where the chat tends to disappear, try to copy and paste as much of that chat as you can, or try to somehow screen capture it as you're doing your broadcast so that you can go back, follow up with people, thank them, find out if they have questions, engage with them on other platforms. All right, next. Here's a problem. I've definitely suffered from this many times. Not today, though, but many times. You don't have a plan. And when you don't have a plan, you can't be focused People come to your broadcast, they have no idea what you're talking about. You're easily distracted. You're going down all kinds of rabbit holes, and whatever conversation that just so happens to come up, if somebody does leave a comment and it's off topic, you just go with it. And it's like people are like, well, what are they talking about today? So have a plan and try your best to stick to the plan. Now, keeping in mind what I said about engaging with your followers and when they're commenting and all of that, sure, you want to answer a comment, but you might say, okay, hold on, I'll come back to that. Because sometimes people are just going to ask you off topic comments. Like somebody might right now might come in and say, what platform are you using to do that? How are you doing this Facebook Live from your desktop? That's not what I'm talking about. I'll get back to you at the end of the broadcast about that and tell you about this cool technology I'm using now. Okay. Okay, so now that's going to bring us to number 5. And this is the last point, and then I'm going to have a bonus tip for you. You're not promoting your live streams. And I'm all really guilty of this because most of the time when I go live, it's on the spur of the moment. For example, I like to use my live page to embed my live streams so that I can always tell people to come back to that one page, ileanesmith.com/live. Now, some of these other platforms, some of the platforms that I use don't allow me to do that. But what I do is I will always make sure that I'm sharing it on Twitter. I'm sharing it on Facebook and, wherever else that I think folks may be interested in whatever it is that I'm talking about. The other thing, as far as promoting your live stream, I try to repurpose these videos and post them on YouTube or on Daily Motion, or in this case, since I put it up on a group that is closed, I will probably re-upload it and, download the file, because I get the file from Huzzah, and I could also do it on Facebook. And then I'll re-upload it maybe to my profile or maybe to my page or wherever it is appropriate. So I like to repurpose. So you try to get a little bit more mileage. And then also people know that you're going live all the time. So like all my folks know that I'm going live all the time. Almost every day I'm doing a live somewhere. You may have a devil of a time finding me if I don't have that embed code. That's why I like this site that I'm using today, which is Huzzah, lets me have the embed code. Also, YouTube does that. It gives you that embed code so you can embed it on your blog or your website so that people know where to find you and they can always catch your live streams. So you want to be promoting your live streams. Now, there's a couple of sites that let you do multicasting. That's what I like to really call it. I'm multi-streaming or multicasting. And one of them is Huzzah. The other one is Smile Time. That's one you guys might want to check out. And I will have some tutorials for that if you want them. So those are the 5 tips. I'm going to go over them real quick. Okay. Try not to have distracting lighting or ceiling fans in your background. Don't be driving, okay? Make sure you're responding to questions. Make sure you have a plan before you go live, and make sure that you are promoting your live streams. You're cross-promoting them, repurposing, and multicasting whenever possible. If you're interested in learning more about live streaming and multicasting to other platforms like Facebook Live right from your desktop, please consider joining us over on Patreon, becoming part of the community, and for as little as $1 a month, you can have access to all the exclusive content that I'm sharing over there with the community. I'm Ileane Smith. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.